Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're taking a look at the Gerber LST small folding knife. Now, a bit of background. Gerber was bought out by Fiskars a very long time ago, at least a couple of decades now. And at first, it didn't seem like a big deal. It's like, okay, you got a company that makes modern day hatchets and axes with hollowed out, practically indestructible handles. And Fiskars does make very good, larger folding saws as well. So, okay, cutting instruments, Gerber makes knives. This will probably be perfectly fine. No issues. Well, yeah, in my humble opinion, Fiskars horribly mismanaged Gerber after the takeover. And you'll find that's the opinion of a lot of individuals who used to enjoy Gerber knives back in the day. I'm sorry, but from my perspective, quality took a big hit across the board with every single line of Gerber knives, with two exceptions. For some odd reason, there were two lines of knife models from Gerber that didn't take a huge hit in quality after the takeover from Fiskars. I don't know why, but they didn't. And one of those two lines of knives is the LST series. You have a small version that you see here and a slightly bigger version, and the bigger version would still count as a small pocket knife. This one is more keychain sized knife. And for those of you who have been with me a while, you know it made my list of top 5 inexpensive keychain knives. And it is inexpensive. As you can see, pinned construction, traditional rocker lock. You have a nice lanyard hole that isn't exactly perfect. And for keychain carry, yeah, instead of widening, it would be better if it got thinned towards the lanyard hole, which would make keychain carry on a split ring a lot easier. So that's one small disadvantage. One thing I really like, when you open this up, let's see if you can see that. Yep, it says Portland, Oregon, not China. And another thing I like, the knife does have a half stop. So in the open and locked position, if you're closing it and the blade comes down a little too fast, you do have that half stop. That helps. That's a nice safety feature. The half stop is not too aggressive though, but it is there. So that's good. You got Gerber on this side and on this side, yeah, a nice number. Blade has a nice non-reflective finish. Now, I will have specs in the description box below as usual, guys. Be sure to check that out when the video is over. The thing I really like about this model, it has nothing to do with keychain carry or if you live in a particularly horribly restrictive state where something this small would not get you tossed in jail or have it confiscated and you get fined. That's not the thing. The thing I like about this little guy is that you can toss it into a small, mini, or what some people would call micro survival kit. I think mini is more appropriate. If you take a standard Altoids tin, take out the mints, clean out the inside of all that white powder, yeah, you got a really good container for a mini survival kit. And there are a lot of people out there who don't really understand the concept. Let me break it down. It's a way for you to have bare essential survival items on you or either very close to you, such as in a glove box of your car or truck or SUV. And they contain the absolute minimalist items you need to get out of a hairy situation. And for the sake of convenience, for having the kit as small as possible, obviously there's going to be items missing from it. However, bare minimum, a mini survival kit should have some sort of cutting tool, because let's face it, maybe you lost your knife, maybe you didn't, well, obviously you didn't plan on being in a survival situation, so maybe you didn't bother bringing a knife. Although, if it's legal to do so in your jurisdiction, I definitely recommend EDCing a good folding one-hander with a strong lock mechanism. But okay, let's say you don't have any knife. Well, you have one in your mini survival kit, and this is actually a really good one to put into an Altoids tin. Yes, it does take up quite a bit of space in the folded position, but you still have enough room for all of the minimalist essentials. So, cutting edge covered. What else? Well, you need some way of making fire. That's one of the bare minimal essentials needed in a mini survival kit. Some way of making fire. I don't recommend matches because they're not very reliable. Perhaps a fire steel ferro rod with a small flat striker. So that takes care of fire. Keep in mind, everything in the mini kit, you can't have too many, well, you shouldn't have redundant items. Normally in a survival kit you should, but a mini kit is all about keeping the size down as much as possible. So, you've got your cutting tool, you've got your ferro rod or mini ferro rod with a small flat striker. That takes care of fire. Another essential is shelter. Well, obviously you're not going to fit a tent into a mini survival kit. However, if you have knowledge on how to build an A-frame, how to build a debris shelter, you're going to need something to lash everything together. So, waxed dental floss. Buy that, break open the plastic packaging, leave the spool of waxed dental floss the way it is, and just put that little spool into your mini survival kit. That covers shelter. I know it doesn't do a great job of covering shelter, but again, you're not fitting a tent into a mini survival kit. What you can fit is super strong waxed dental floss to help in lashing your A-frame, your survival shelter, debris shelter. There you go. And the final category is actually two categories in one: navigation/signaling. Signaling can be taken care of with a very small 2-inch by 2-inch flat mirror and a very thin whistle. Navigation, a decent button compass. And there you go. Those are the absolute essentials for a mini survival kit. And this little guy will leave room in an Altoids tin for you to fit all those other items. Is it perfect? No, but it's a hell of a lot better than being out there with nothing and having to rely on your bare hands. As a matter of fact, this is a slightly used, small Gerber LST that I recently purchased. It is used, but it's in really great shape. And this is going to be ideal for the new mini survival kit I'm putting together. Back in the day, and even today, if you get a cutting tool in your mini survival kit, if it's a commercial made kit, they might give you a razor blade. What the heck are you supposed to do with that? I mean, if the situation gets really bad enough and you're really desperate, yeah, I'm not going to go there, but that's pretty much all the razor blade is good for. Or even worse, they give you a scalpel blade without the handle that the blade is supposed to click into. Yeah, that's great. So let me just tear up my fingers, get them all bloody, possibly get them infected. Yeah, no thank you. Third option, you get a very thin, narrow, made in Pakistan miniature Buck 110 clone. And those things are just awful. Yes, they're better than the razor blade or the scalpel blade, but knives made in Pakistan are garbage. They just are. They look like knives. They slightly function as knives sometimes, but they're just cheap, worthless garbage. I mean, seriously, if it says made in Pakistan, don't even waste your money. I don't care how cheap it is. Don't even waste your money unless you're filming a video and you need a prop that kind of sort of is a real knife, but barely cost you anything to buy. Okay, maybe then, but as a real knife, no. What this reminds me of are those mini, flat, Buck 110 made in Pakistan clones, but higher quality and better materials. Yes, this is actually sharp. This has a lock mechanism that won't fail on you. Even used, look at this. There's zero side-to-side play, zero up and down play. This is just a well-made, rock-solid locking mini knife. I mean, yeah, picture one of those Pakistan specials. Now imagine if it was made with quality, with a decent blade steel, something you could actually sharpen and stay sharp for a while. And if it dulls, you can sharpen it on a flat rock. This is what those made in Pakistan specials that you used to get in commercial survival kits, this is what they should have been. And yeah, I highly recommend the Gerber LST Small. Actually, I recommend the bigger version as well. They're just incredibly well made, and well, for what they are incredibly well made without being horribly expensive. And like I said, for some odd, unexplained reason, even though Gerber's entire lineup of knives took a huge hit in quality soon after being acquired by Fiskars, for some odd reason, there were two lines of knife models that didn't take a hit in quality. I don't know the reason, but the LST is one of those two. These have always been quality, even after Fiskars took over. So, yeah. And these make absolutely excellent, very small EDC knives and absolutely fantastic small knives to include in a mini survival kit or even a kit a little bit bigger. Absolutely wonderful, lightweight. If you're putting together your own mini survival kit, or maybe a kit that's just a tiny bit bigger than an Altoids tin, this is definitely worth considering, especially for the price. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon.